Hello, everyone. It's Simon Woods, and as you know, I've been thinking, and that can be dangerous. Recently I read a newspaper article, about the transgender community, and much of the time, people in the community, such as myself, we are faced with the horrible news that another one of us has been subjected to a hate crime or has been murdered, or, just the negative that most of the news prints. And despite the fact that this article is about answering nosy questions, it actually allows a bit of light to be shed upon the transgender community. The interview, the personal interview with the transgendered woman, goes on to ask such questions as, have you had the surgery? When did you start your transition? How do your parents, what does your family feel about this? And, how was your dating life? Now, being that this article, and you can look it up, Google search it, transgender people deal with nosy questions. Um, Great article. I loved reading it. And since it asks those questions, and I often get asked those questions myself, I will shed a bit of light on me being transgender. So when it comes to the question is how does my family feel about this, I lost half of my family, and that was my adopted father's side of the family. They are devoutly Christian. They are very, very, stuck in their ways kind of people. And after I came out, it was my adopted father's quote to say that surgery can make you no more of a man than it can make you a squid. So they were not accepting. They were very rude, very cruel, slamming me with a whole bunch of stuff that I just didn't need at that point because I was already vulnerable coming out. Um, what was, is dating difficult? Well, dating is difficult for everyone. Even straight people have problems out there in the dating world. A lot of it comes down to, you either don't feel good enough or you feel, you have these negative connotations about yourself, and it's really hard for anyone to date, especially when you're putting everything out on the table. It becomes one of those situations where we're vulnerable, we're weak, and we're scared, and we fear rejection. And I think that that kind of connotation is true of everyone. We're all kind of scared to be in those shoes where, we're going to have a door slammed in our face. So, yes, dating was difficult, but it's difficult for everyone, so I don't really get why that would be a huge issue. Um, have I had the surgeries yet? Right now, I'm holding penny drives among my friends and family to have my top surgery done. And I am a high bleeding risk, so unfortunately, bottom surgery may not be an option for me because I could die on the table. It's something I'm going to do further research about, but I'm getting excited because my funds are coming closer and closer to being able to get the chesticles taken off. When did I start my transition? I was 19 years old when I started my transition and started living as myself. I was 20 when I started taking hormones. In fact, my voice used to be a hell of a lot higher than it is now, which I'm so glad I actually have a deeper voice. That was one of my biggest accomplishments, I feel like. Um, I was renamed by my mother when I was 23. And now in my late 20s, I am continuing to take testosterone and facial hair and shaving, and yay. Um, if you have any further questions for me, I'm always willing to answer them. And if you're another transgender person who is in the community kind of floundering and you stumble across this video, if you ever need to talk, I would love to be able to give that helping hand because it's scary. It's really scary in a world that doesn't accept a lot of the time, and it's frightening having to deal with a lot of those questions, because nobody likes being put on the spot. You know, nobody likes having that finger pointed at them and you answer these questions. Nobody likes that. It makes everyone uncomfortable. But, you know, if you have any further questions, or if you're transgender and you want some questions answered, or you just need somebody to talk to, my door is always open. And speaking of open doors, the door to discussion is open.